welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm doing a vintage cube draft. There's no particular stipulations attached to this one. I'm just out here gaming. This is the Final Fantasy run of the Magic Online cube draft. This pack has a bunch of solid role players, but no obvious call or direction, no power. Misty Rainforest, wide open, super safe to take a fetch land, make sure your mana works. Craterhoof Behemoth, there's a couple ways to make that work. Ramp is buffed in this version of the cube. They put Fyndhorn Elves and like some other stuff back in here that had been cut for a while. Speak of the devil. Knights of Round is a pretty cool thing to shove into play. Guttrucial Zealot is just the only, I guess, Detected Phoenix. I don't really register that as a red card a lot of times because I'm not going to play it. Retrofitter Foundry's fine, Watergrave's fine. Brain Freeze enables a bunch of combos. I think I'm going to take my boy Guttrucial Zealot. I could follow that up immediately with Fable and Mirror Breaker. I just stake my claim on mid-range red cards, which I do really like in Vintage Cube. Gao Feral Youth. This is a new one. When this attacks, put a +1 counter on it. At the beginning of each end step, if a card left your graveyard this turn, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. I'm not sure how cards are leaving my graveyard. Am I just drafting Soul Guide Lantern? Does that even target me? No, it doesn't. Okay, I don't know really how to make that work. Fable is better than that card anyway. Archon is a big unit to shove into play. Jace, just a dope magic card. Who doesn't love a Jace? Hallowed Fountain is a dual land. Like in the, I'm not going to do this for every pick, but in the alternate universe where I'm just staying open, my draft would be Misty Rainforest, Hallowed Fountain right now. But I'm taking Fable. Ancient Tomb, let's go. Yeah, Bonecrusher Giant's here, a card that I loved a year ago and has just gotten slowly worse. Trades with less. Sheoldred is a banger. This is the type of card that can change a game you're losing into a game you're winning. But it also costs black. And Ancient Tomb gets all of these things out into play faster that I already have. That's what I'm doing. This pack, Chandra. I'm doing my best to just hoover up the best red card in every pack so the people downstream from me don't want to compete for it. And luckily here, it's really the only card I would take. The Commercial District is a red dual, enters tapped, not great. Woodfall Primus, like specking on Natural Order, what am I even doing with that? If I was going to do that, I would have taken Craterhoof earlier. Not really anything for me here, except the Chandra, which I'm quite happy to have. Cloud Midgar Mercenary. When it enters, search for an equipment. If Cloud is equipped, if an ability of Cloud or equipment attached to it triggers an additional time. I'm not convinced this card's good or belongs in the cube. Like, there's not even swords of this and that in the cube right now for Cloud to pop off with. I don't know. I'm not a believer. Amped Raptor could be a 2-for-1, but it currently casts nothing that I've drafted, and I have no other ways to make energy except this Galvanic Discharge, which works on its own. Robber of the Rich. Love that card. There is a red dual land in here. I wouldn't mind catching that on the wheel. Leave Big Boros open. Fire Blast, Suplex, Flame Slash, Gruul dual land. I think it's Fire Blast. Fire Blast, I had a draft last season where I sort of caught a Fire Blast on the wheel at some point and left it in my sideboard, then boarded it in every round and it was just busted. Free spells, especially free spells that deal this much damage, are worth it. Voldaren Epicure, Raucous Theater. Do I want to start trying to support a splash or just keep the material flowing? And Voldaren Epicure is card selection. Cut my Phoenix back. Might have successfully cut red out of this whole pod. Craterhoof Behemoth still in the pack, and Fyndhorn Elves. Nobody wants the ramp either. That's interesting. Well, I'll take this Phoenix. Lumberjack Bristly Bill. I don't want to play this Lumberjack, though I guess it could happen. These are both Gruul cards because you have to sacrifice a forest for this. Bristly Bill is the card I guess if I end up, I don't know. Actually, Once Upon a Time. If I end up green, Once Upon a Time is the best card in this pack for me. Bonecrusher Giant. Commercial District. Okay, we're starting to enable the green. I don't want to do this, but it's here. We'll see if I open a Minskin Boo that pulls me into it. Yeah, Epicure making the blood, that's something that Gut can convert on curve into a 4-1. It's pretty important to have random material around to keep feeding to Gut. That first 4-1 skeleton is so messed up. Amped Raptor wheeled back to me. Versus the Essicus Chariot. I do have one additional way to make... I think I'd rather have Chariot in case I end up Big Gruul. Sandstorm Salvager is better than Caryatid for me. Alright, well. Another Gruul duel. This one's actually good. Commercial District enters tap. That comes with its own problems. Strip Mine is excellent. I love Generous Plunderer too, but if I'm applying pressure early, Strip Mine can just cheese a game. Hildebrand Manderville. Creature tokens get +1/+1. When this dies, you can cast it from your graveyard as an adventure, and the adventure is make a 2/2 black zombie for 2 and a B. I think it's Strip Mine for me, and I really hope this Plunderer or Arena of Glory come back my way. Now Strip Mine is a pull into Ramnep Excavator or Wrenn and 6. That's a reason to move into green more. Chain Lightning, Territorial Kavu, summon Kujata. When it enters, deals 3 to each of up to 2 target creatures. The next turn, up to 3 target creatures get block, and then the last turn, and it dies. Discard a card, draw 2. When you discard a card this way, this creature deals damage equal to that card's mana value. I'll probably wheel that. I'm not even sure if I'm going to play it, but Chain Lightning is just exactly what I'm in the market for. Screaming Nemesis, let's go. Just another red heater dummy. I don't think I'm playing any of these other cards. Inspiring Vantage is not the splash color I am. Oh, the Raminep was there. I might wheel that. I would still take Screaming Nemesis over Raminep, even with the Strip Mine. Galvblast Lotus Petal. Oh, there's Wrenn and 6. Oh, that's the guy I said. This is really good with exactly Strip Mine. I don't have any fetch lands right now. I think I want a Galvanic Blast, and I'll see if Wrenn and 6 and the other thing come back. Or, no, it's Lotus Petal. Yeah, anything to cheese myself ahead a little bit in this Strip Mine deck. Deathcreator Champion, I love this card. Copperline Gorge, I hope that wheels, and given the packs, good chance it will. But Deathcreator Champion, this is a game ender. Adeline, the horned turtle that makes a guy, not in consideration. Karizev Lutri. I mean, you just get this, right? That's how Cube works. Each non-land card in your starting deck has a different name. Literally free. Okay. Well, I'll take this free companion. Karizev is not as good as a free card in my opening hand. Yeah, well, Lutri, cool. I wonder if that was just added back into the cube. I feel like I haven't seen this, and I would see it a lot if it was in the cube. Whoa, lots of action for me here. Wooded Foothills is the nut fetch land for my deck. Yuffie, Materia Hunter. Ninjutsu, when this enters, gain control of non-triggered artifact for as long as you control this. You can attach equipment you control to Yuffie. Okay. That's pretty cool. Lightning Bolt and Fury, both cards I'd love. I think with the Wrenn and 6 and Raminep Excavator going around, I think I want this Wooded Foothills, though if I end up mono red, I'm gonna regret not having this Lightning Bolt. Alright, Lightning Bolt's more replaceable than Wooded Foothills is. Summon Wilmer Vilderama. 1. Exile an instant or sorcery card from each graveyard. 2, 3, 4. Add a red for each lore counter on this. You can cast an instant or sorcery card exiled with this saga, and mana of any type can be cast. Alright, so this is a Hill Giant that might cast a spell. I'll take it. Generous Plunderer wheeled to me. Medium to high confidence that would happen. Glad it did. Territorial Kavu. Not really interested in that, but I will put it over in my Gruul pile, even though it's not really a Gruul card. Alright, Moment of Truth. Raminep, Wrenn and 6. Are you coming back my way? Raminep Excavator did come back my way. This was the pack with Wrenn and 6 in it, I'm pretty sure. I did not get it back. Shalinda. Lifelink, whenever a creature enters, put a +1 counter on that creature if its power is less than Shalinda's. Otherwise, alright, that's confusing and weird. I'll put Endurance in my sideboard. Copperline Gorge. Happy to get back. This is a worse Raminep Excavator, and I'm not even sure I'm playing the one I have. Karizev. Elvish Reclaimer. Probably not playing that. Territorial Kavu, not playing that. Lutri is a sideboard card, even if I am playing it. Headliner Scarlet is phenomenal. Inti is pretty good. I like both of these cards. I think Scarlet is better. And the way the draft has gone, might get that Inti right back. Chrome Mox, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Burst Lightning, that's what I meant when Lightning Bolt's more replaceable than a fetch land. Nothing is quite Lightning Bolt, but Burst Lightning sometimes is better than Lightning Bolt. Oh, Chrome Mox is exactly what I want. Just monocolor, deck full of garbage. Happy to pitch any of it to get ahead. I think it's pretty likely I just don't play these green cards unless I get hit with Minsk and Boo or something just really raunchy. Wow, I don't want any of these cards. Gitaxian Probe, I could just put in any deck, see what my opponent's working with. Manamorphose, kind of a build your own Gitaxian Probe situation. 4-mana sorcery that I refuse to read. JK, I'll actually read it. I'm going to reserve Gitaxian Probe for now, though. Sack a creature. If you do draw a card, then put a creature or land from your hand on the battlefield, so a weird natural order show and tell, or return two target permanents. And that card's pretty good, but it's not for my deck. I'm nowhere near this Ajani, which is actually the best card for my deck here. I'm going to take Gitaxian Probe. Chainsaw! This is removal. This is material for Gut. It's in my 2-drop slot that I need. I like it. I like it more than Goblin Rabblemaster, who I also am likely to wheel. Blood Crypt. I don't have any black cards to play with that. Pyrokinesis is a sweeper. It's the only card I'm close to playing here. I probably could support Questing Beast. I'll reconsider if it comes back on the wheel, but for now, Pyrokinesis is going to go in my sideboard. Othari. That one's actually cool, but Seasoned Pyromancer is where I am. I am heavily able to play green cards and not able to do anything else. It's easy peasy, get in here. Atali, Nature's Lore, no thanks. Karn Scion is just like a 4-mana thing. It doesn't do a lot of damage. I'm really not playing any of these cards. I don't care about Hull Breacher because I don't draw a lot of cards. I guess I have a couple things at 3 that do that. I'm not supporting VV. And Hull Breacher and Fractured Identity. This is the last new pick of the draft. I think I'll take Karn because it's the only card that is even conceivably going to be played. Oh, okay, there was one more pack. I lost count. What does this do? Exile the top card of your library. During any turn you put a lore counter on the saga, you may play this card. Next, cast a creature spell this turn, it gains haste. 2/1. I think Fear of Missing Out is better than this thing, but this thing does seem pretty cool. And here's this pack back. Summon Yojimbo. Yo, Jimbo. How's it going? I don't know why I'm reading that. I'm not taking it. Haywire Might. I do actually have the green to support this if my opponent's doing some Bolas's Citadel, Coveted Jewel, whatever the hell. I'm not playing any of the other cards, so in you go. Burst Lightning on the wheel. We'll take it. There's that Lightning Bolt I didn't take before. Replaced. Yuna, you're back. Oh, and I just sent Atali down the road. I guess I'm putting Manamorphose in my sideboard. Rabblemaster came back as predicted. Questing Beast came back as predicted. I'm not playing either of these. Okay, looks like I'm going to be mono red with a fetch land in it. This is actually 23 spells plus 3 lands right now, though Chrome Mox, Lotus Petal are in that count. I'll consult the sideboard and see what's going on, but this tech is basically built right out of the draft. Okay, I get Lutri for freezies. Gitaxian Probe is good with Fear of Missing Out. It helps build Delirium. That is a sorcery that goes right to the graveyard. And this Wilmer Valderrama summon. That is a spell that's just laying around. Just lets me draw a card. That's cool. And this is just a 3/3 flying haste. In addition to everything else that's going on. Cool. All right, do I want 28 mana sources in this deck? Probably not. The cards that are in my sideboard that could be played. So Verge, Thicket, District could be here. Green is very much on, and I have Wooded Foothills to enable all this, even just a basic forest. Where, if anywhere, do I want to put an extra slot? Do I want to just have the backdoor access to Strip Lock? But Raminep is otherwise not very good. Sandstorm Salvager. I'm not doing a lot with tokens. Endurance is double green. That's the one I would actually want to play the most, but they thought of that with the mana system. That's why it's harder to cast, because it's good. Yeah, Questing Beast and Endurance are the ones that I would definitely want to play if I just had a slot. I could play this Manamorphose. This does play with the summon and with the FOMO, and it lets me kind of have both the spell and the land in that slot at the same time. The Gitaxian Probe and the Manamorphose were just velocity red here. That means I don't have to play any of this stuff. I could play Commercial District just for the selection, but if that borks my curve, I'm going to be pretty bummed out about it. Are we just on the 13 mountain special? Okay, this is 18 mana sources. I think I can go down one. No, 16 lands and ways to dig. This isn't card advantage, it's just like 38 card deck is what we're doing here. And I do have Babel and Pyromancer. Detectives Phoenix and Pyrokinesis are still in the sideboard. Karn and Haywire Might are still in the sideboard. I'm not playing those in the main. I do get to double a spell eventually with Lutri, if I care about that. I think I am going to play the Commercial District because I can fetch it. That gives me a little bit of movement. Makes me feel like one of these lands is partly a spell. Like the Cataxian Probe and Metamorphose are spells that feel partly like lands, and District is a land that feels partly like a spell. Because I'd kind of like 15.5 mana sources in this deck, or 15.5 lands, and we've kind of landed there in the back doorway. Okay, this is what I'm doing. Mono red. Let's get it. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw. I've revealed my Lutri, which feels like cheating. I am going to keep. Hand's a little reactive, but I can strip mine cheese. Opponent just mulled to 6 and played a tapped land. That's dead. Bang. Okay, we'll see if strip mine does the cheese that I've asked it to do. Of course I draw Commercial District. Well, I'm going to play it. Got True Soul Zealot. I'll keep you around. Got a lot of burn in my hand. If they play a creature this turn, I can stomp it. If they don't play a creature, I could just play 4/3 Bone Crusher Giant. Savai Triumph. Johnny. Alright, well. Happy to make that dead. Stomp. Okay, Ajani is gone. Cat Warrior remains. Cat Warrior is smaller than Bone Crusher, and with Ancient Tomb I could play Bone Crusher and Burst Lightning next turn. Alright, I'm going to cast Bone Crusher and leave up the red, because I don't have to zap this cat if I just have a bigger creature than it. But if they clear Bone Crusher, I would like to take this pressure off. Static Prison with a bunch of mana floating. Did they think that card cost 3? Or what's going on? Most Oblivion Rings do cost 3. I assume there's a follow-up spell coming, though. Or not. Alright. That's actually funnier. I will take the pressure off. I'm in kind of red control mode right now. I don't think Mana Tithe is in the cube right now. They said, oops, cast the wrong spell. Haha. Okay, that makes sense. We've all been there. Well, fetching doesn't do anything except clear a card out of my deck now that the Commercial District's in play, so I will clear that card out of my deck, and I'll buy Lutri. Nothing's going on. Put my companion in my hand. We're vintage gaming right now. I can go 8 to the Dome. If they can't generate more energy, I'll get this Bone Crusher back turn after next. Mana Vault. That's a real card. But it does need to cast stuff for me to care. Alright, this is a lot of lands I've drawn here. I think I'm just gonna pass. I'm not trying to send a double Chain Lightning to their head and then not really do anything after that. Playing out Gut without immediate payoff hurts a bit. Umezawa's Jitte. Okay. That is a card that I think is mostly bad in cube, but if it does connect versus my deck, it's pretty good. Can I put Gut out here? I'm just going to pass. Continue being patient. I got my Bone Crusher back right now. Unless they have Containment Priest. Cool. Alright. My creature's back. Now maybe we'll see what they meant to spend their mana on 2 turns ago. Ooh, this is a lot of mana. This 4th Aerolingus. I'm so dead if that happens. Okay, yeah. That makes sense with the mana they tapped the other turn. Alright. Bone Crusher's bones have been crushed. Do I want to just light them up in the end step? I think I do. I gotta start doing something here. Okay. When Lucci enters, copy target instant or sorcery. So I have to float 2 red, Fire Blast you, hold priority, and then cast Lutri. Copy this, same target. 11 damage out of nowhere. It's actually more because of gut. Oh, that's busted. All right, here we go. Rabble Master. Finally found some material for gut. Endless stream of spooky skeletons coming your way. All right, move to combat and hit my opponent for $1 quadrillion. Goblin Rabble Master making a 4/1 menace is a lot scarier than the 1/1 it was making otherwise. Okay, cool. Mono red control doing the work. I don't want to get results oriented. I did draw a lot of lands that game after spending a lot of time in deck building, talking about how I think I might have too much mana in the deck. But I did also win. So, shrug, I don't know. If they have equipment, they probably have stuff to hold it. Do I want Pyrokinesis over anything in particular here? Like, I could cut Gataxian Probe if I want a real spell in. Yeah, I think I want Pyrokinesis in. You don't just put Umezawa's Jute in a creatureless deck. Okay, the Commercial District glued to my opening hand, but I don't have a 1-drop that I necessarily need to cast, so I will keep Windswept Heath and a pass. I like it. Ancient Tomb. That's that card I like. Chain Lightning. I'll just keep the burn. Keep most spells at this point. Hedge Maze. Kept their card. Shocked and Hallowed Fountain. And a Johnny. We've done this before. I'm going to stomp on a Johnny. This is literally the exact same game that we played last game because I have the Ancient Tomb and the Bone Crusher and the Burst Lightning. It's all going to line up exactly the same. And they mulled to 6 on the play. It's the same game. They seem to have more colors of mana this game, though. Lelia. Hold on. Stop. All right. Did I get it in time? All right, cool. All right. This should have been before attacks, but I had F6'd. I forgot I had a free spell in my hand. I'm going to pitch Chainsaw to kill all of their shit right now. Unless they hit a 0-drop, it doesn't really matter that Lelia got into combat. Underground Sea. Okay. I hope he needed that. It's in exile now. Forever. Crush some bones. Here we go. Pyrokinesis out of the sideboard, looking really good. I think it's going to get Prismatic Ending again. This is the same game we just played. Sweet. Okay. This all looks pretty familiar. Robert of the Rich. I don't think I'm playing Robert here. Problem with Seasoned Pyromancer is I like all my cards. What am I doing if I don't? All right. I am going to play Seasoned Pyromancer and hope that I hit a mountain to still cast Robert of the Rich this turn. I'm going to get rid of, I think, Burst Lightning and Fire Blast. Did not hit the red source to go nuts, but I did find Gut, who can now eat a bunch of elemental tokens. 5 mana. Witch Enchanter, no target. We love to see it. Lotus Petal. They've got 1 card in hand. Petal, Gut, Robber. I'm just going full Hand Blast here. All right, yeah, they're just conceding. Cool. They had conceded to the Gut before I even played the additional card. Yeah, mono red control, slow and steady, on to the next round.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the draw for round 2. Lutru revealed. All my special lands are in my hand. You register 13 basic mountains and still hit the good stuff every time. I'm snapkeeping this. I have the Strip Mine if I sense weakness, or I could just turn 2 Fable and the Mirror Breaker. Getting griefed. Okay. Pitching Preacher of the Schism. Well, they can't take Ancient Tomb from my hand, which is the card that I care the most about. They'll probably take Fable. That's my guess. That is the best remaining card in my hand. Unless they're a Reanimator deck, then they might want Scarlet. Like if they're going to reanimate out of my graveyard, Scarlet's pretty great. Fable's gone. They've seen the Strip Mine now. Oh yeah, they're scamming. Is Grief better than Scarlet? I guess it's Grief plus a card better than Scarlet. It's not quite that simple. Chain Lightning? How about we put that back in the graveyard where we found it? All right, mono red control kicking in. They spent 3 cards, I spent 3 cards, and now we carry on. Thoughtseize takes Scarlet, and we're in the goofball zone. Seasoned Pyromancer is real good. All right, I'm going to Commercial District and get set up. I don't think strip mining this one of their 2 swamps. I mean, maybe it matters a lot. Maybe like they flip Metamorphosis Fanatic and I just lose right now when it could have been avoided. But maybe their hand is just 3 swamps and strip mine is wasting a turn. It's hard to know. Okay, now I know they're out of lands. That's interesting information. I'm going to use it to my advantage. There's a lot of things that could happen on 2 that don't happen on 1. Cycling, Unearth. And they've already used Reanimate, which is the one that costs 1. I found a replacement swamp. My plan is to cast Seasoned Pyromancer this turn, so I'm just going to Burst Lightning, because I'm probably going to have to discard it anyway. Let's get you for 2. Generous Plunderer. I'm just going to Pyro. I think that's better than trying to make Plunderer happen. This is raw card advantage. You discard 2 cards, then draw 2 cards. No matter how many you actually discard, you still get 2. Screaming Nemesis is here. We'll haste battle. Chrome Mox, not doing much at this point, but it is material for a gut. I am worried about my opponent's deck, though. Reanimator is one of the decks that can go way over the top of aggro. Robber. Well, I can rob them. Do I care about Robber? Can this play lands? You may cast that card. I cannot play lands off of Robber. I think I'd rather just do more damage. Scream, scream. Alright, opponent's dead on board. They gotta figure it out from here. Bone Shards discarding Narset. Okay, so they're missing a whole color over there. That's important info. Yeah, Robert of the Rich. Attack. I get to steal a card. A Boron Oculus. I cannot cast that because I can't pitch Chainsaw to Chrome Mox. Boring. Okay, so they're blue-black, and they kept the Grief Scam hand and then just got color screwed forever. I don't really have Graveyard Hate of any variety. I have Endurance, but I'm not supporting that. I'd have to put so many green cards in my deck to be interested in that. Territorial Kavu has some passive Graveyard Hate on it. It's really slow, but I can actually support this card. It would be a 2-2, but it would have a bunch of words on it. Is that better than Gitaxian Probe or Metamorphose? I would also have to add the full suite of green duels in and probably a forest. I think I'm just going to hit submit again. The way the cards they actually drew worked out, it looked like Mono Black Reanimator, but they definitely have a lot more going on than that. Turn 1 Fable. I'm into it. I'm going to keep. And this original Mirrodin art on Chrome Mox just gets me going. It's like goopy and you can see a reflection of somebody in it. What a great card. Okay, Mountain. Chrome Mox. Valdarian Epicure, thank you for your sacrifice. Lotus Petal. Storm is 2. Fable. We've seen Narset in their deck, but they would need like Black Lotus or Blue Mox to get it into play this turn. And even then, I'll just attack it. Who cares? This is turn 1 Fable, turn 2 Chandra. Wind up. A removal spell breaks up my Chandra. Alright, Snuff out. That's fine. Draw for turn. Seasoned Pyromancer. Interesting. I'm going to discard the Mountain and draw 1 new card. Fear of missing out. That lets me... I could just Seasoned Pyromancer, Chandra, and FOMO away. Get 2 Fellas. I think I am going to do that. I really like the Chandra, but this is also a really tempting counterspell target if they have one of those. Alright, they don't. Fire Blast. Alright, the spells are here. Ready to start slinging. Hope I don't get combo killed. Children's Edict. Sacrifices a non-token creature. I only have 1 of those. Underground Sea. They've got their colors this game. Fable flips this turn. I like this Mountain. Gets me closer to Seasoned Pyromancer. And I'm going to Metamorphose here. I'm going to make red black. I'm just going to put some thoughts in their head that aren't true, and then buy Lutri. Just messing with you. What black card could I have? Please think about it a lot. And I have the 8-point blast here. Troll of Khazad-dûm. Grabbed a swamp. Exhume. Alright, so you get a troll, and I get Fear of Missing Out or Seasoned Pyromancer. I do have Delirium, even if I get the Fear of Missing Out. Alright. Pyromancer. I don't want to discard 2 cards. I am willing to discard 1 card, though. Discard Galvanic Discharge. I can't quite kill that thing. I could do a mini Splinter Twin here, where I attack, I copy Fear of Missing Out, I attack, I untap Reflection, get another combat. I can go pretty wide here. I'm going to see if that happens first. If they just have a removal spell here, then I'll pivot onto Fire Blasting them. Discard Rabble Master, combat, attack with all creatures, untap Reflection, and untap Token FOMO. Okay, they're blocking Token FOMO. At the end of combat, I am going to copy Fear of Missing Out again. Discard Generous Plunderer. Right, we go to new combat. Attack, untap Reflection. They can block with Troll, but eventually they have to, like, Troll dies. The third attack will kill the Troll. I'm not sure if this was better than just burning them out, but I'm having fun. All right. Third combat of the turn. Attack, untap Reflection. Okay, they've decided to take damage at this point. And, well, I'm out of mana to cast spells, so I will continue copying. Discard Screaming Nemesis, I think. Attack one more time. Or no, I get one more after this. I'll untap the original Fear of Missing Out. That won't trigger again, but I am out here doing stuff. And if they don't, I should have untapped a token. The original might be tempting enough for them to actually block, but if they don't, they're dead to Fire Blast. Sick. That was a fun turn. Oh, I have another combat still. I have nothing untapped to attack with, but there is another combat here. I've lost track. Okay, I'm not gonna hurl 2 mountains into a potential counterspell, but they're in the spot where they're dead if they don't do anything, and if they tap out, I can Fire Blast. And if I get to untap, then Fire Blast has Lutri protection. Narset is fine. They're starting from 1 card in hand here. We got the GG. Yeah, that was a solid run over using everything in the backup tank as well. On 2. That was 2 rounds already, right? Wow. All right, on to the finals. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw for the final round. My hand is slow, but I am going to keep it. The only bad draws in my deck are more mountains. Ancient Tomb is good, Strip Mine's good. Any 1 or 2 drops good. Ancient Tomb, probably my top favorite draw here. Opponent went to 6. Swamp, my greatest nemesis. Inquisition, alright, well, Rabble Master's gone. They see the handful of Chonkos. Hey, there's the best card in my deck, but it did get worse. Cycling Lorien, against blue-black again. Super BoshNRoll coded opponents. Multiple blue-black, just good interactive spells that do stuff. Opponents in a row. But I'm over here being mono-red. Undercity Sewer, grabbed off of Lorien. Just doing all that dirtle selection. Robert of the Rich. Well, I'll play it. It's not going to rob their riches this turn, unfortunately, after they just kept a card on top of their deck. They did a good job having fewer cards in hand than me. They don't know about Ancient Tomb. Drawing the 2-drop let me hide that. I would have just bought Lutri with Ancient Tomb if I didn't hit this. So now if they think they have a turn to drop some, like, Preacher of the Schism or something that's just going to die to Chandra, that would be great for me. If they just tendrils me out here, that's bad for me. Duress, my Chandra, no. Alright, well, they did know she was there, and now they know about Ancient Tomb. They know what's coming. I have no more secrets. Starting town, right on time, it's turn 3. Not a moment too late. Wow, alright. Well, I have been thoroughly disrupted. Extremely BoshNRoll deck over there. Hey. Well, I like that card. If I play Ancient Tomb, I can buy Lutri this turn. There's nothing I can do here to actually rob their riches. Yeah, even if I go face, that's not good. I don't think that's a good play anyway. I'm just going to buy Lutri, actually. They don't need to know that I have Burst Lightning. But I guess I'm doing this anyway, and if they have Mana Leak, it would be embarrassed to get got by it here. Night's Whisper. Okay, yeah. Spin those wheels. Turn on this Robber. Okay, Robber is on if I play Scarlet, so I will. She's worth a card here. Your creatures can't block. Gotcha. I get to rob a card. It's a mountain. Ooh, a new color revealed. And Scarlet does bottle a card every upkeep. So this is another card advantage engine that they need to break up while Robber of the Rich is in play. All right, yeah, they just don't want to play anymore. Cool. Blue-black stuff. We've played against this once already. I think the key is keeping the pressure up. At least 3 discard spells, which means I want to keep a high density of action. Lutri helps with that. It's cool that there's just action in my hand at all times that can't be discarded. I don't think I'm going to make any changes. The Phoenix or Pyrokinesis could come in over the Probe or Manamorphose if I just want, like, spells. No, I'm just going to hit submit. It's been working so far. Someone come stop me. I've lost every die roll and won every game, which means I've been on the draw for every game of this whole league, and I hope to keep it that way. Let's keep the numbers up. Turn 2 Rabble Masters lined up here. Chrome Mox, wow. Do I want that? I wanted it this turn. It's a little late now. No, I don't think I want that. By the time I'm through it, it'll be already too late, and I'll have the mana necessary to play the game. Freebooter. This can only take non-creatures. Okay, deal. Which means my Bone Crusher, Screaming Nemesis, and Rabble Master are all legal plays this turn. Rabble Master's not great into Freebooter. I might just Scream. Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna Screaming Nemesis. That Chrome Mox actually looking reasonable now because I don't have my 3rd land. If I draw my 3rd land, I'll be okay. If I don't, I'll kind of wish I kept that Chrome Mox. But I still have Stomp for the Booter, which unlocks the Burst Lightning, which is another spell, and I can Fire Blast. They do need to figure this out, even if I do miss a land drop. And if their removal is Lightning Bolts, Screaming Nemesis is great against that. Starting town right at time again. Not 1 second late. Oko, alright. Turn my 3-3 into a different 3-3, or make your own 3-3. Alright, my 3-3 is a different 3-3. Fair enough. It did hit the land. What do I do with that now? I kill Oko. Alright. I'm going to Stomp Freebooter. They can't daze me because they don't have a island. I should have attacked first in case they have Snuff out. But alright, Oko's clear. They can now Lightning Bolt my Screaming Nemesis. Shieldred, yikes. I don't like that one. Okay, what do I do with this now? I could buy Lutri, and I think I'm going to play Bone Crusher and just park the bus, and here she is, the mighty Shieldred, doing whatever she does. If my opponent has a wheel, I'm dead. If they don't have a wheel, I got to navigate a 4-5. Hieroglyph, that's huge. Okay, bad news, everybody. Am I Fire Blasting this thing? I don't think I can afford to. Alright, I think I'm now officially pretty far behind. Somebody might get a game off me this league, and I'm enraged. Epicure. I think I'm just going to Blood away the Rabble Master immediately. I need these 4-drops. Shieldred's going to get me again. Okay. Lutri, get in my hand. I gotta be reckless and nasty here with my life total. I'm not going to win a game where I'm passive under Shieldred. Alright, opponent's at 19. 3 cards in their hand. Night's Whisper, which gains life, ultimately. Opponent's got a lot of really good cards in their deck, but they are pretty greedy on their colors. This is at least a 4-color deck. I think it's Chump, Block a Clock, Block. And how do I want to sequence this? I guess I take one more draw. This land, I now have 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. It's less than I want. Burst Lightning can kill Shieldred next turn, but I'm dead before then. Yeah, I guess I have to just take my beats here. Fire Blast, target Shieldred, cast Lutri. If they have a counter spell here, I'm dead. If they counter Fire Blast, I don't get to even copy it. I'm also dead to a removal spell if they remove my blocker. Same targets. That 5 toughness doing the work. And that is why they elked the Nemesis. Turns out that different 3-3 mattered a lot. Oh god, alright. Just getting burned out from Barrowglyph, triggering Pyroglyph. Cool. Alright, someone got a game off me. I'll be on the play once this league. Fine. Okay, Cataxian Probe and Manamorphose look worse now, knowing that Shieldred is a thing. Pyrokinesis, does this actually kill anything? It kills Freebooter. And even getting 1 more point onto a Shieldred might matter. Alright, Detective Phoenix is in, just another creature. Let's go. The final game of the league. All the marbles. My hand is good. It needs a land, but I am going to keep. I hope I get to summon this thing at least once. It seems really sweet. Xander's Lounge. Uh-oh. Come on, deck. Not like this. Just ship the mana. I hope they play one of their bats or freebooters here and lines up perfectly against Crush. Or Stomp. Stomp Crush. Crush Stomp. Land, please. Yep, had it. Had it. Always had it. Rabble Daddy. Miscalculation. Yep, that's a good time to have that. That was going to be the first good Goblin Rabble Master in 2 years, but it got countered. Speaking of cards that have fallen off, that one's big. Undercity Sewer. I like a tap land. Dark Confidant, Brave. Commercial District. Do I want land number 5? If I want a double spell, I will need it. Do I want a double spell? Bestowing Defective Phoenix is a pretty solid double spell. No, I'm going to bin that, and I'm going to stomp on this Dark Confidant. Oh no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't cast her. Caustic Bronco. Giddy up. Blood Tithe Harvester. They got the little boys, and they can crew up their horse here. Lotus Petal. Does not really help me do anything. The Esper is a 3/3 flying, and it uses my mana most efficiently. If I draw a land, I can double spell next turn, but it doesn't actually get any of the abilities. But I get extra red off of this too. Okay, no, that actually matters. All right. 3/3 flying haste. Exile your miscalculation just in case. And I am going for the beats here. I'm not going to try to park the bus versus Caustic Bronco. No thanks. Miscalculation doesn't really work with this, because you can cast the instant or sorcery as part of the chapter ability. It's not like until you lose the saga or anything. Well, very unlikely that you'd be able to make a counterspell work with that. I don't want to say impossible, though it feels impossible, because I've played enough Magic to know that things are possible that you don't think are possible. And I hate nothing more than weirdo rules nerds explaining to me why I could potentially counter a spell with miscalculation here. Okay, going for extra damage rather than crewing. They took 2 from Deep Cavern Bat. And that one's pretty good. My hand is full of good cards, but they might just take the Lotus Petal if they're trying to stuff my ability to double spell. Barrowgoyf. Hate that one. Hate that one the most. And they could grow it at instant speed potentially with the blood token. So Galvanic Discharge, fascinating. All right, I get a red mana here. Or I get 2 red mana. Oh, wow. All right, well, I'm not going to cast Miscalculation. Right, I forgot it comes with... That's chapter 2, so you get 2 red mana, then 3, then 4. That's so much mana. Cool. All right. 3. Okay. I have 7 mana now. I could discharge this Barrowgoyf, or I could play Scarlet and see what happens. I'm going to play Lotus Petal first. If I sack this Lotus Petal, Barrowgoyf gets bigger. I have to dance around a lot of stuff here. Discarding a card is part of the cost of that. Scarlet, your creatures can't block this turn. Oh, there's no instant in the graveyard either, so I actually can't Galvanic Discharge the Barrowgoyf. Okay, so that's just not a thing, and I have to accept that. Gut, would cost me my Lotus Petal. Detective's Phoenix, I could get some extra damage through here, but I am worried about the... I'd have to collect Evidence 6. There's almost a trick here to do with Barrowgoyf, but it's not quite there. Alright, I'm going to attack for 6. And the mana coming off of this summon is really exciting. Do I want to play Bone Crusher, which makes Barrowgoyf bigger, but is a great use of my mana? I think I do. Alright. Gotta accept that as cost of doing business here. There's so many other creatures that matter. And if they kill Bone Crusher or Scarlet, that lets me bestow Phoenix for maybe some surprise damage. Exiling this Miscalculation actually did shrink Barrowgoyf proactively. Looks like they're deciding right now if they're gonna loot away something with their blood token. Like try to high roll into like Pyrogoyf would really mess me up here. Gut and Phoenix both represent burst damage next turn. Phoenix can just have haste even if it can't bestow it. And Gut turns probably Phoenix into a 4/1. Okay, looks like after long consideration they decided Deep Cavern Bat is not where they want to be. And here's Barrowgoyf. 3-4. Currently trading with Bone Crusher. Everybody's coming. Okay, let's see what Caustic Bronco does. Flips Shieldred. Well, I don't like that. Barrowgoyf will gain life regardless. But now I don't mind Barrowgoyf drawing a card because they're likely to just shove Shieldred with their mana. Yeah, I think I'm gonna block Caustic Bronco, let Barrowgoyf trigger, and try to just win this turn. Alright, 3. They go up to 8. They mill 3. Unlikely they'll hit something better than Shieldred. Yeah, full miss. But they did mill a Planeswalker, so Goyf's bigger for next turn. Yeah, the bet or the question is just, is this game going to go 2 turns? Because I think that block is right if I win this turn, and that block is wrong if I don't. Mountain from hand. Shieldred and 2 unknowns over there. Kolagon's command doing what? 2 damage to any target, and rebuying Deep Cavern Bat. Okay, so you take some damage here. I like that. Barrowgoyf gets bigger. I don't like that, but that means we're not casting Shieldred. My whole hand is good. If they don't take Discharge, I just pick off the bat and cast all the same spells anyway. I like my spot here, unless their last card in hand is like Thoughtseize or Lightning Bolt, and Thoughtseize might not even be good enough, like Duress. Okay, so Headliner's going to flip a card, and then I'm going to get a crazy Dark Ritual from the summon, or Red Ritual. Dark Ritual, but red. Okay. Land from exile, unfortunately. I'm going to play Gut. That's happening. What is the play? I could bestow Detective's Phoenix onto Gut. That is less damage than just playing Phoenix. However, I don't have enough to buy, play Lutri, and play Phoenix. So if I attack with a 4-1 here, I think they're exactly dead unless they have... Yeah, they're exactly dead unless they have Fatal Push or Lightning Bolt, like some 1-mana removal spell in their hand, in which case I am pretty much dead. Alright, attack, sacrifice Detective's Phoenix into a Spooky Skeleton, 4-1 Menace. They block, go to 3, and whichever creature they don't block is lethal. Oh, we got the GGs. Wow, okay. Exact damage after taking... Took a 6 that game off of their Caustic Bronco, and then I got them dead for Xaxes. Wow. That's 1 trophy on the books for this season. As always, I don't know how many I'm going to do. This might be the last one. I might do 10 more. Who knows? That's part of the mystique at this point with the cube drafts. Yeah, I could have distracted myself with some Gruul cards, gotten too clever trying to strip block people, but just, strip mine, strip mine is here, ram it up, Excavator in the sideboard. Bunch of ways to deal damage, getting people dead. Lutri just very stupid in the cube. It's very weird that I haven't just seen Lutri a million times in Vintage Cube. It must have been rotated in, or maybe I've just somehow dodged it, but just getting it gratis due to the rules of the construction of the Vintage Cube. That's literally why it's banned in Commander, but cool. Fire Blast in the main did a lot of work. Supplying pressure and killing shit. Nothing left to talk about. Super clean trophy. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon to support the channel. I'll see you next time.